and welcome to Fan Corner, your favorite nerdy, unhinged podcast. Today we are wrapping up our Taylor Swift's End of an Era docuseries series.
It is the end of an era.
That was so redundant.
Say era again and say series again.
So we're doing episode 5 and 6 today of the docuseries and just talking about our thoughts and reactions. If you are a longstanding podcasty listener with us, we will be talking about Throne of Glass next week and Arobynn Hammel, but going forward we talk about all kinds of nerdy stuff, including Taylor Swift. So our next Taylor Swift series will be probably come out monthly as opposed to this weekly stuff, and it would be like we're gonna do deep dives of our favorite, like, off the beaten path of each era.
Yeah, little less well-known songs.
Yeah, and like deep dive them. So that's what's coming up next. But for now, let's get into episode 5 and 6. Wait, we should introduce ourselves.
Yeah, who even are you?
God, we suck. We're
Sorry,
bad
y'all.
at this. I'm Rachel, the face of Fan Corner.
Yes, you are.
And this is Brian, the metalhead.
The
guy.
the
guy.
The other person on the camera.
The other person. He's my boyfriend.
I do happen to be a metalhead as well.
All right, so there's a lot to talk about in these, and we're gonna kind of go all over the place, I think, instead of like being like very linear here. For me, I think the most powerful part about this though was kind of seeing those clips of all these, the dancers, certainly Taylor herself, and the backup singers practicing things when they were little.
Yeah.
You know, like you could tell it was like a high school stage or like a dance studio when they were like in their teens, and seeing where they are now. And I think what struck me the most is like, and this is going to sound negative, but in the most positive way possible, like looking at some of the dancers dance when they were younger, it wasn't like, oh my God, get the kid on Broadway. Because I think there's sort of this idea like that permeates our culture that like you're either born with it or not.
Yeah, you're either like a prodigy or
yes. Or don't even bother.
Yeah, like it's never gonna make you money, so you may as well not.
Yeah, like don't even bother to learn it. Like that's annoying of you. When really it's like, I think talent's just a spark.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a spark that keeps driving you to try. But like the reason all those dancers and the singers and Taylor herself is on those stages because they worked at it and they worked tirelessly at it. Like it doesn't just happen. Like you're not just born. It's not like God's like, boom, every talent in the universe is in this one child. Like that's not what it is. And I think that concept actually like convinces a lot of people to not try.
Sure.
And it's really sad.
Yeah, no, I'm jealous of kids who knew what they wanted to do from a young age like that. Like I don't know if I've been super passionate about anything like since I was a child. And so it's really cool when I see people who, that young knew that about themselves. Like I'm kind of jealous of that. But then, like you're saying, just because you knew that didn't mean it was going to be easy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what it is that gives different kids the feeling of like, oh, I want to pursue this thing versus something else. And if they can do it without adults talking them out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
and so many adults will try.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm trying to think of something that I maybe expressed interest in, but adults were like, but could you make money with that? And the closest thing I can come up with is that I want to be an author. And it's just like so statistically unlikely to make, like, I mean, I guess maybe not. I don't know what the exact stats are on like a livable wage as an author.
As opposed to like sort of a phenomenon.
Making it rich.
Level. Yeah. Like you might not be Fourth Wing, Harry Potter kind of big, but you're like, making decent money.
Yeah, a lot of authors, like percentage wise, are like mid-listers. Yeah. So it's like, it's enough to live on and you get to write for fun.
Well, you
so
even think of someone like Sanderson, right? Like Brandon Sanderson. He writes a lot of fantasy series. He makes a ton of money. Like he's very comfortable. But like, and he's like popular in his niche, but outside of his niche of fantasy, a lot of people have no idea who he is. Mm-hmm. Like he's not on he's not the phenomenon level. And I feel like we all have this idea that like, it's not even just about making enough to live. It's like, if you're not a phenomenon, don't bother.
Yeah, no, you have to be so exceptional.
Yeah.
Like I struggle with this a lot where like in parts of my life, I don't want to be just 1%. I want to be, 1% of 1% or something. Right. Yeah. And so learning how to enjoy something I think is important for us as humans. But I do think that it's inspiring too to see these dancers who, like you're saying, that I mean, I have no clue what a good dancer looks like. It's not
I want to be clear, they all looked very talented. It just wasn't like, oh my God, you could tell from that age.
Yeah, like they were going to be a prodigy, but like I wouldn't have known what those kids would look like then versus now. Like it's hard to think of dancers that have performed in front of more people if you want to gauge success by how big your audience is. than the Eras Tour dancers. I mean, I guess maybe
honestly, them even having name recognition. One of the dancers talks about this, and I can't remember who it was, but maybe it was Cam. The dancers having name recognition in a tour, like, that's unheard of.
That does not happen.
That does not happen. And it's only going to be more so because of this docuseries. Like, I think, like, success as a dancer, yeah, it's traveling with these things or whatever, but some of those dancers have traveled with other big stars and never had this sort of, like, name face recognition they have now. That's going to help them with other, like, projects going forward. Like, you know, Jan being on Dancing with the Stars, like, perfect example. Like, that's like a very lucrative career going forward for him because people resonated with him, and he had the talent too. But it's like, both. And
speaking, not to cut you off, but speaking of Jan, love Jan. He's beautiful, tremendous dancer. His voice really threw me.
You wouldn't have thought that.
I don't know what I was expecting for him to sound like, but just I don't know what it was, but like, it just kind of threw me.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, again, I love him to death, and not in a bad way.
Yeah,
just I was like, oh, like that wasn't what I was expecting him to sound like. I don't know.
Long before I knew who Jan was, he was trending all over Book Talk. So that's like on TikTok. Obviously, there's like a side of it that's like for book people, and fantasy books are a big deal on Book Talk. And he kind of like especially in Midnights, like the dark outfit and then the deep V that he has, it was kind of giving this very specific character from a fantasy franchise, Akatar. And so he was all over my feed for months. Like, people were like, "Hi, Lord of the Night Court." And like, it was so funny. Like for a long time before I even knew his name, I'd never heard him speak. And I I was like, yeah, that's the guy. Like,
the High Lord of the Night Court has a deep V.
I mean, I think in all the character art, he does. I guess actually, I don't know if he's ever described that way in the book. But like, he wears darker clothes, you know? And I think it being the Midnights behind him, like kind of a night sky,
totally.
like whatever, kind of like plays into it. He has that really nice, dark, luscious hair.
Yeah, he looks good.
He's like very chiseled, you know? Mm-hmm. Like very like...
Gotta have the muscles. Yeah. Abdominals.
I don't know. Okay, so what's interesting, I will say, so many people's parents, like we were just saying, are not supportive. I saw a TikTok recently where some girl was saying this. It was a poem, and it was gut-wrenchingly beautiful. I find it. I will
we've got to link that.
It really moved me. She was like, everyone said, I'm botching this. This is not what it was like. But basically, the essence was, in a non-poetic way, was that, everyone makes fun of kids and young adults for only being on their phone and just scrolling all the time.
Yeah, not having hobbies, not...
interests. And it's like, but when I painted, you laughed at me. You know, when I tried to play piano, you thought it was too jarring. Like, all these things. And I was like, that's so true. Because, like, you looked at that. There was that footage of baby Taylor Swift just slamming on the keyboard, having the time of her life. Like, that toddler was having a time of her life. And her grandmother, Marjorie, is like, yeah! And, like, actually playing music with her. And everyone's being so supportive. And, like, you should get a piano and different things. And, like, I think a lot of parents would see a baby toddler doing that and they'd be like, please shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they would be like, no, we are not getting a piano. I'm not going to listen to this. But that's part of the process, right? Is to go from sort of like playing to learning. Like, same with like language. Music is a language, right? And so I think that's something that's unique about Taylor, is that people gave her the things she needed to succeed. The piano, the whatever, not making fun of her. Like you get the sense her family was never like,
yeah, calm down.
Yeah, shut the hell up. Like, do you know what I mean? They weren't like, please stop singing. Because, you hear that, right? Like, parents getting annoyed of their kids singing or whatevering all the time.
Yeah. I mean, when the cats meow a lot, sometimes we yell at them. So I get it, but...
I don't yell at them. I think Jackie does this thing. One of our cats does this thing where she just like goes into another room and she screams. And we looked it up, and it's like sometimes they're understimulated, so we try playing with her, we try whatever, and just she doesn't seem to be telling us anything.
Yeah, she doesn't seem distraught.
But it like stresses me out because I'm like, what's wrong? Like I'm just like, like she needs something, and I don't know what it is, and it stresses me out. Yeah, that's funny.
It's hard being a parent, but it is sad when there are so many things that, like, how many talented musicians or dancers or artists would we have if kids hadn't had so much pressure to choose careers that would make them a bunch of money, or that would...
Yeah. Or even just like the pressure to like be good immediately.
Sure.
Like we don't like to let people, I hate to even say the word fail, because when you're learning, that's not a failure, right? Like it's literally, you're just learning, and it's a beautiful thing. But because there's this pressure that like, yeah, it's either you're a prodigy, you immediately were singing opera from the womb, or shut up. Like it's not how talent works, right? Every single one of it, Cam's mom's a perfect example of this. Cam talks about how she kept sacrificing so he could do more and more dance classes and different things like that. Like he was learning. He was doing the thing. And that's the only way to get better at the thing. Right. And we all want to avoid that. But like also it's because it's trained into us from elderly people.
Yeah, if you're not a natural, just 100% right from the start, then it's like,
which no one is. I actually would argue no one is.
I really wonder if there'd be statistics on something about how much talent really affects outcomes, or like what the definition of talent is, like a predisposition to be good at something versus something else.
Some of it feels ephemeral.
Oh, absolutely, very ephemeral. So not like, I mean, and maybe like there's
Michael
a degree...
Phelps had like webbed feet, so it's like that's not even talent. That's like
they built
genetic
him,
benefit.
Yeah, they built him in like a lab to be a good swimmer, right? Yeah, but like
he's the Olympic swimmer guy. I actually don't know anything about Olympics, but I do know that.
And that he swam.
He swam. I don't know what he swam, but he swam in a pool, and apparently like he had webbed feet, and that made him like really good at it.
And maybe there's like a degree to which people have like different levels of like kinesthetic sense or whatever, like awareness of your body that might make you a better dancer. But like nothing is just going to, like, you don't wake up one morning knowing the moves to a dance.
Okay, so actually it's funny you mentioned this. This unlocked a memory for me. When I was younger, I was playing in this is a true story. I don't even think Brian knows this. When I was playing in my front yard, I would have been 9th grade. So very late, actually, for a dancer. I was just playing in my front yard with my cousin at my great-grandma's house. And this lady came by the house, and she was like, hey, you should put these 2 little girls, me and my cousin, in dance classes. What's funny about that now, because like I was like, I don't know, what dance? Like I don't even know if I knew what dance was, aside from like I'd maybe seen Step It Up or Cheetah Girls, like but that natural talent is actually Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Oh, okay.
Like it's literally just because I'm flexible.
So you're genetically predisposed to being a more flexible dancer.
But then it made me more predisposed to be injury too.
Yeah. So your dancing career was a little short, huh?
But if someone had shown me sooner, like we could have worked around it. But I think it's funny, sometimes these predispositions, it's like, was that really a talent? It was just being flexible, which you can work on that.
Yeah.
Like if you stretch enough, you get flexible. So it's just kind of an interesting thing.
Maybe we can define talent as just a little bit of some kind of a slight advantage into starting to do that work.
Yeah.
So that then if it was easier to get into the work, then you just get that work done and you suddenly are naturally really good at something.
I almost wonder if the real talent is just having like, curiosity. To even start and then to continue when people are bullying you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like maybe that's what talent really is. Actually.
Well, this has been a very interesting philosophical treatise to start off our...
I don't know if that was the vibe, but here we go.
I will say, I don't know if we had quite as many thoughts about these last 2 episodes as we've previously had, so I think
we'll see where we
get
end
a little
up.
more philosophical.
We'll see where we end up. So speaking of Marjorie though, that... Every time anyone says Taylor Swift only writes about men she's been with, I get so angry. And there's tons of songs that come to mind, right? But this one specifically, it was really fun to see like all the dancers' reactions and how emotional it was for everyone, even though this is about, like, written about, like, the lyrics are about her grandmother's voices in it. It's very much about Taylor Swift's grandma, but how it almost is universal.
Yeah. Yeah, that feeling of like loss and I don't know. Like, so Marjorie's an interesting one for me because I don't know if I've had that type of loss in my life. Like, so,
oh, wow.
So Taylor was 13, I believe, when Marjorie passed away. And so that's old enough to know.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't know either of my grandfathers. They both died either, I think one, maybe even before I was born, but then one when I was quite young. Another grandma of mine died when I was in kindergarten. So I have slight memories of her. And then I did have one grandmother who passed away when I was kind of in my late teens. But I didn't really know her very well.
Sure.
And so like we weren't very close. And so when she passed, it, like, again, it wasn't like it was a little bit of a reminder that we're all going to die one day, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss this person. And so I think Marjorie hits a little different for me. It's not about somebody having died. It just may be about relationships that change, maybe is kind of more the way that it hits for me, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's about loss in general too. I mean, you did have that really interesting, not to bring it back to cats, because it's not the same thing.
Cats are part of the family.
But I know for you tell that really powerful story about when your cat passed.
Yeah, I wasn't living in the U.S. at the time when my cat passed away, and so the day I got the news that he had passed, I had a very interesting interaction with just a random cat on the street that felt very, whatever the word is.
Yeah, like he was still with you.
Yeah, like a little bit of a sign. So I do, yeah, that's fair.
So I think it's easy to dismiss maybe because it wasn't a person.
No, absolutely. I think
but that's still, I mean, that's the most I've seen you tear up about your own life is when you told me that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, Marjorie, because I think it means a lot to obviously everyone. The week before we went to the Eras tour, my great grandmother died. I didn't even have tickets yet. And then the opportunity came to get tickets, and we went, and it was this very, it was one of the backup singers that talked about how you can be one of your most devastated and one of your happiest at the same time. Because it was when the opportunity arose, I was like, well, this is kind of an inappropriate time to go to the Eras tour, like I was like, but someone had finally gotten a pre-order code, but they couldn't go, so they gave it to me. I don't know, it was like this whole thing. But I remember it being just so emotional because my great grandmother for me is like the closest to, like, she's like the last of my family in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And so her dying, like, it was like, that's it. Like, that's all I had.
Yeah.
And I do think in a very real way, like, it feels sometimes like she's here still. You know what I mean? And like, and that sense of like, what I love about Marjorie is that it's like, she has those lyrics about how she left her dreams in a closet for Taylor, And I think like my great grandma, she moved over to this country, after World War II, right after World War II, she married an American soldier. She escaped horrible, horrible things. And like her life, when you would get these little glimpses of her life, were so, like, she worked in a science lab. I mean, we're talking, in that day and age, do you know what I mean?
And she's a badass.
No one would, she really wanted to get her driver's license. She really wanted that independence, and her husband wouldn't teach her how to drive. So she would ask random neighbors to go with her so she could learn how to drive until she got her driver's license. Like, her and great grandpa started a business together, but really I think it was like all her. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, it's very clear. It was all her, really. And so I just look back on these stories, and it's just so clear to me that like my business sense and my like drive and all these things about me came from her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I love that.
Like, it's just like everything she had to fight so hard for in her life, I got, and then like she wanted me to go further. Like, she had every tape when I would sing in choirs. And so like when you're in a choir, the idea is all the voices meld together. You're not supposed to be able to pick out voices, right? But my great grandma would listen to the tapes of me singing, like in these choirs,
the choir,
in these little, like I was in these like they were like state choirs. It was a Georgia thing. I don't know. And she'd come to every performance. She was always front and center when I did move back to Utah. So I just think like there's this like sense of just like that inherited drive that's so beautiful, and like that honoring of like, and honestly maybe that's kind of in some ways like a feminist thing too.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we get to go further than our grandmas, our great grandmas, because of the rights that we have now, and that's like really powerful, I think.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know, for a lot of parents, the idea is kind of supposed to be that you live a better life than your parents did, and your goal is for your kids to live a better life than you have. But I don't know, it's easy to say that.
Yeah.
So, but it's really cool for you to see how much of who you are you can trace and see in her, and that she'd be very proud of what you're doing now. That's
my favorite part of Marjorie, the song, is that you have the echoes of her grandmother in the track, and they're not there at first. Taylor says it's almost like I can hear you. We don't hear her, and then we do. Eventually we do, and it's like these echoes coming back to her and like duetting with her. And
I remember when you first showed me that song, I was like, it like kind of gets you,
Yeah. And I was like, that's her grandma's anyways, that's like a really cool like piece
really
that
cool
they were
thing.
able to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And to make it that seamless, I actually think that might be, I mean, I don't know anything about how you like put together a music track, but I would think that would be rather difficult.
Sure.
Because the tracks that they would have of her grandmother would be like probably more ancient tech. Do you know what I mean?
Well, and you'd have to work within like what key she was singing in and like all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's definitely, it wasn't as easy as like, oh, let's stick this backtrack in the song I wrote. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's obviously a lot harder than if her grandma was alive and just sang it to the mic. Yeah. You know what I mean? Gotta talk about how cute it was when she's practicing her mashups. Taylor's practicing her mashups and she's just strumming along watching the football game.
That was
just
so
watching
funny.
The football. That's interference. Like that's so
as she was
funny.
playing. Yeah, no, that was funny, and it's cool to see Taylor. Like, I mean, I'm not a big football person. Like, I understand how the game works, but for her to go from what at least appeared to be general, complete lack of understanding of the nuance of the sport to understanding the injuries and what's, who's on what.
Even being able to be like, that would be a something penalty, like knowing the exact terminology to be looking for. It is really impressive. I think she went really hard because she loves Travis and she talked about that. Yeah. Right? It's like, I went from knowing nothing to now I get it.
Yeah, to now she's like going to know more than 99% of anybody who maybe even watches football.
It's also funny because she would wear those Eagles jumpers.
Oh, yeah. Like and we saw that in the docuseries.
Yeah, we
in the
did.
First couple episodes.
And it was like, oh! Yeah. But like, I still think like there's a difference. Like a lot of people in Utah, we don't have a professional team here. So I think it's a little different. But some people just like that. It's almost like wearing a shirt that says your state's name on it. Yeah. It's just like part of the culture. And so, yeah, it's really fun. I got more into football than ever because of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you just were telling me that you probably won't watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was like, "Do you want to watch?" And I was like, "Nah, Travis isn't in it."
130 million people watch.
I'm gonna watch. Okay, though, I'm so excited for the halftime show.
Oh yeah, Bunny. For Bad Bunny. Yeah, that's
like
that's gonna be killer.
Stoked. Yeah. Like one of my friends just sent me a like breakdown. My friend from Brazil sent me like a breakdown of like, okay, here's like your education, like so I can start to like
Bad Bunny 101. Yeah, I don't
I knew nothing. And so
I don't know any Bad Bunny music.
He's in a song. Is it I hope it's not a Nicki Minaj because we don't like her anymore. Maybe it's a Cardi B song. He's in a song that I knew.
Sure.
But I don't know if I'd heard him like a ton of his actual work aside from that.
Biggest artist in the world right now, I believe.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Yeah. Really cool. So that'll be fun to watch.
Like globally, like not just within the US. So
yeah, globally, yeah.
I'm so excited. Yeah, football. Me with football. So but that was still a lot of football to learn. Like I'm glad I did it, even though it might not be part of my life going forward. I'm glad that I did what I did.
No, I'm kind of glad it's like I can generally tell which direction each team's going and like what a touchdown means and some of the rules. But yeah, I don't know. The Super Bowl's a little unique. Where I don't know.
It's almost a cultural phenomenon. Like I think a lot of people watch the Super Bowl that don't even like football. Like it doesn't have much to do with, or just like the eating culture. Like I think, it becomes like a state rivalry thing almost.
Sure.
Like if your state's involved, that would be cool.
Oh, especially then. Yeah.
Maybe when we move to Washington, we'll get into football.
Yeah, be Seahawks.
Maybe Seahawks fans. I don't know. Got to make sure that they're on the level though.
We I don't know a lot about them.
Problematic people. Are the colors cute? Are we allowed to pick a team by the? Is that allowed?
Honestly, that's a more valid reason than some people have for choosing a team. The Seahawks, I think they're kind of like blue and green, or kind of their colors. They could be cute. Okay. Maybe some white. Okay, don't quote me on that.
Is it like? Because I feel like in basketball, this is quickly evolving. This is hilarious. In basketball, they wear like they change their colors.
Yeah, like a home and away jerseys and
those
stuff.
Those bug me so bad. So I was taken to a few Jazz games. We do have one of those basketball team in Utah, and I got confused because one time they were like, it felt like the other team was wearing the color I associated with the Jazz, and so I was like, someone told me they have. It's not even just away and home. It's like they have a whole other. I don't even know what it's.
Yeah, what like the decision is for what uniforms they wear.
Which one are we wearing today?
I don't know.
They just really like their fit checks, I guess.
Yeah, to be fair, they look good. I don't know.
I mean, they do look cool. Makes it a little harder to know who you're rooting for, though.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know how much that changes in football. I don't know if they've got home or away or anything. Yeah, I'm just not a big I think
we know nothing.
Maybe one year I watched the playoffs and then the Super Bowl, but that's probably the most I've ever watched. I think I watched a couple of Tom Brady games
actually
just for fun.
Legitimately think I've seen more football in my life than you have.
Oh, you probably have.
I will say, okay, She's working on the mashups. She's like yelling at the screen. It's the last few shows. And she mentions at one point at a different stop, she's like, oh yeah, like when I get a cold, it just really lingers.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder why that is, Taylor.
It's like, maybe because you don't rest, babe.
Yeah.
She like, no one was even talking about it, but she sounded, and she does it when she goes on stage, right? When she goes on stage, it's gone. Sure. But I was like, babe, I think you're sick. Like, maybe, like, the mashup thing, kind of stressed me out for Taylor. Like, I'm really glad the Eras tour is over in some ways. Because, like, watching how hard she was pushing herself, I was like, no. Like, we don't need you to work that hard on these mashups. Like, they're beautiful and we love them, and that's not what I'm saying. But, like, I was like, if she didn't have to work on the mashup, I feel like she could have rested a bit more before the concert even.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so that was something that kind of stressed me out for my girl Taylor.
It was fun to have her, like, as she was practicing and, like, I don't know, she was walking through what the mashup was going to be to, I don't know if it was to Andrea or to, maybe it was to
Gracie Abrams.
when Gracie was there. But you can just tell she's doing this like crazy 4D chess in her head of like, she can see the song and she's like, let's take this piece here and plug it in and this
the
piece.
Bridge,
and then she plays
chorus.
It. Like, that's so cool.
It was really cool.
And
then she has to memorize that order, especially... There's a few where she mashed up 3 songs.
Yeah, and I know it's her music and she wrote it and stuff, but like, I don't know, I've written some shit and like, I couldn't just like rearrange it in my head and then like play it perfectly and keep it in key.
I wrote years ago and I'll be like, did I write this? Like, I don't remember this at all.
I guess she's played the songs a lot.
But to be fair, that's why she has to practice it though,
yeah.
right? Because that's exactly why she has to practice it, is even for her, like her discography is so big, but also it's easy to mess up. There was so before the mashups, let's take it back in time. Eras tour lore, okay? Before the mashups, Taylor would just do 2 surprise songs. And you didn't know what they were going to be.
That's how it was when we went.
Yeah. But she had made a rule that if she fucked up the lyrics, like if she fucked up somehow, she could repeat. Because she didn't want to repeat any songs. Originally, she was like, I'm not going to do repeats. So people were like tracking. There was huge like Excel trackers and everything.
That's like those sweets, or the Sweet 16 and like March Madness like brackets.
It was like that. Because that way you could guess which ones would be when you were going.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? But then she caveated a few stops in. She was like, okay, but if I mess the song up.
Sorry if the camera's moving.
That's hilarious.
Screen's being rubbed by Ray. Okay, come here, baby.
If she messed the song up, she could redo it. So like if she messed it up, the lyrics or whatever. And that happened quite a few times where she'd be like, wait.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you know what I mean? Speaking of those mashups, you know, gotta give a shout out to Andrea for coming up with It Was the End of an Era in Long Live.
Oh, yeah. No, which is funny. Like, one of the things that struck me a little bit is how big of a deal to the audience just little changes like that can be. And it sounds silly to say like, oh, Taylor changed one word in one song and it like broke the entire internet. It's a little silly, but at the same time, like that's kind of a significant change. Like it's
I remember getting it on my feed a lot.
Yeah,
because it was like, because it was just like so. I mean, okay, so there's a few different things. First of all, it's funny that Andrea was like, I don't have a creative bone in my body earlier in that same episode.
That was funny,
and then that was her idea. So that was hilarious, the irony. But then secondly, like it was one word change, but it was a word change that represented the end of the Eras tour. So you have like the double meaning. And like, I do think, you know, like we saw the Swifties crying on the floor for the end, or like check on your Swiftie friends. Like eras have to end. That's what an era is. It's by definition a period of time. But it was quite painful. Yeah. Like this was a time when, I mean, every week, half my feed would be, for most, at least 4 or 5 days, would be whatever Taylor had concocted on stage that week, whatever had happened. Tuning into live streams. I didn't do that a ton. I feel like I was really bad at finding the good ones though. Was my personal problem. But even then, like just having that option to do it, and I did do it multiple times. Like I do think there was this sense of like, so it's one word, but it was such a well-placed one word. Do you know what I mean?
That's why Taylor lost her shit when Andrea suggested it. It was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was good. It gives you the chills.
Yeah, like it's different than like Karma is the guy on the Chiefs, which is really cute and really fun, but like, end of an era. It's the name of the whole thing.
That is the name of the whole. I thought it was interesting. Taylor talked about how, you know, this show, yes, it's happy, and so it's funny. We're also sad it was ending. Everyone's experiences so much joy on the tour when they visit. But at the same time, a lot of it's like snarling, anger, grief, so much grief, just depths of grief and horrible emotions. but like the full range of expression of those emotions. And Taylor said, but yet the audience would scream along. And it was joyful for them. And I do think like, I feel like I've seen a lot of jokes about how it was like a group therapy session because there's this sense of like all too well 10-minute version, like that scream of it. Like you're working through your shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But you're working through your shit with a bunch of other women who've experienced the same things and know what you're talking about. And like we all have this shared lived experience, unfortunately. A lot of us on some of these things have experienced those kinds of horrible gaslighting kind of situations. And like, I don't know, that's just something beautiful about, now to be clear, still go to therapy. Going to a Taylor Swift concert is not therapy. But it is therapeutic.
There you go.
It's therapeutic. There's something, I think, by expressing it like that like releases it. And then, of course, that brings joy. Yeah. You finally, like, release something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's like taking it back to one of our first episodes about this whole thing where we laughed about me wondering why people could possibly listen to All Too Well 10-minute version, like, for funsies. But it's like, but it's not that it's feeling sad on its own is a fun thing, but it's like that process of having felt sad brings joy.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know. And I still don't know if I'm quite there in my life yet, but...
Well, I think you haven't experienced a lot of those things.
Yeah.
So, like, it takes a lot of listens for me to fully feel what I'm trying to feel.
Sure.
And, like, to, like, heal from whatever. It's like a tool.
Yeah.
To, like, express horrible things.
Sure.
I think in a lot of ways.
I've come up with...
You mean a man hasn't, like, just abandoned you at a big life event and, like, said you were important to him and then immediately disappeared and ghosted? But then, like, circled back and, like, said really cruel things?
Not off the top of my head. I've kind of come up with, like, for me, like, I love video games. I love being a giant robot and blowing up other different giant robots. And it's not that, like, in my life, I really just have got this urge to blow stuff up. Like, that's not what I'm experiencing. But somehow that act of doing that then, it brings me happiness.
Yeah. But, yeah, if you blew up something in real life, I don't think it would bring you happiness.
I don't think it would either.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, let's not blow anything up.
Yeah. I have to... Maybe we end on, like, some of those, like, ending little things that were going across the stream. Taylor bought her masters back. What a way to end the era of the Eras tour than being able to then take that money and buy back herself. Yeah. That's really powerful.
Yeah, some of the commentary on this online was, did she even kind of conceive of the tour as a way to finance that acquisition? I don't know.
I'm sure at some point when it was as successful as it was, I bet it occurred to her.
Yeah.
Do you know, at some point when it was growing the way it was selling out the way it was, they announced more dates. I bet it occurred to her at a point.
Yeah.
You
it is interesting.
But on the outset, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to buy back your masters is an extraordinary amount of money.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, I don't know this. I've not looked into the numbers at all. But I wonder if by her doing stuff like the Eras tour, she made her own shit worth more money.
Oh, absolutely.
And so then she ends up having to pay more money to buy her shit back. So that's kind of a...
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean? Yeah, and how much did the TVs of everything affect...
Dilute.
Like how much they were being streamed, and so did that.
I mean, I will say the Swifties, I think, were really hardcore about... Like, I would get physically angry if I saw someone playing a non-TV version.
I still flinch.
Yeah, me too.
When I see...
I think it's like in our body now. You're like, wait, that's the wrong one. And you're like, oh, I guess I can listen to this now.
Yeah.
But
no, like from an economic standpoint, like you can try to Google how much people are worth or how much money they've got or whatever. And I mean, the economics of the Eras tour are a little bit more transparent than just like general how much money has this artist made. But if we go back to kind of that first episode or two where it talked a lot about the bonuses and stuff, there's $2 billion in ticket sales approximately. And I don't know if we just figured or if somewhere in something we read,
it was an article that like Wall Street or someone did.
Yeah.
That said it was probably half profit.
Yeah, half profit. And so like I am assuming that's paying the salaries of everybody and not including the bonuses, but like all of everything else. And so if she then paid 20% bonuses out to everybody, assuming that's then all the costs taken care of plus the bonuses, then that would have increased her net worth by $800 million cash.
Well, taxes too, though, right?
Yeah, and then Yeah,
But
taxes
still,
a little,
still though, that's
a little
an
wonky,
extraordinary amount of money.
But so that would have, well, so the reason I'm bringing it up is that, yeah, the $800 million, yeah, maybe minus taxes of, it'd be a lot, 40% ish. What did she pay? 360 for her master's. Mm-hmm. So like by the time that was all said and done, like, I mean, not that a couple $100 million in change is a small amount of money, but like, I do think that by the time you look at what she really had to spend after the tour, buying the master's may have all but wiped it out.
That kind of makes sense to me. Yeah. And I know there might have been savings or things too.
Well, she had other money from that too, but and I still think it wouldn't have been every dollar, but
yeah,
I mean, 100 million, give or take, right? Like, which is a lot of money, but so people are like, oh, well, she's like a billionaire, and she is a billionaire, but like even for a billionaire, $300 million is a lot of fucking money. I don't care who you are.
Well, she
especially in cash.
When she says she thanks her fans for being able to buy back the Masters, for coming to the Eras Tour and supporting her the way they did, she says she could not have done it without as much money as she pulled in. She says that. So I would imagine and it's like we're saying, like, the more successful she got, the more expensive it would have gotten. So it's kind of like it creates like an interesting problem. She had to be so successful monetarily that she outran the value that's then going up too. That's like an interesting issue.
Yeah, I'm sure you could probably analyze a lot of that very deeply and still not get to the core of it. Yeah.
And to be fair, anytime anyone says a number to me, I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. Like a number, I'm like,
yeah, I have no clue what artist's masters would normally be valued at. I don't know. Because there's artists that get more streams than her, but there's a lot more to it than just streams too.
Not a lot more. She's pretty up there.
Yeah.
She doesn't have albums that are often on the top thing, but it's because her fans spread out among her discography or like her singles or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Travis and her got engaged. Okay, so
we're going through the accomplishments from the end of the episode.
The very end of the episode. It puts a lot of like in May and whatever. Like, it's like catching you up on Taylor's life after the Eras Tour. Except for sourdough making, but we know about that, so it's fine.
Important things.
It says her and Travis got married. Or
got engaged.
They're gonna get married. I actually think, because I'm the first person, because I'm a menace, to be like, decenter men from your lives. Sorry, baby. And, but I actually think it was really progressive to include that. Because it's like she's talking about in some of these episodes, she had long been told and made to feel by partners, and society, right, makes you think you can have one or the other. You can have success as a career, as a woman, or you can have marriage. You cannot have both. It is not allowed, right? Especially at this level of success, but any level of success as a woman, you can have one or the other. Actually, fun fact, a company that I used to work for, he literally got caught on an all hands. It leaked to the media. Don't worry about it. The CEO got caught in an all hands saying that he feels bad for working women because there's just no way that they can fully give to their family and to the company, and so that they're a bad deal economically. And I am not making that up.
Pretty much word for word, I think, is basically
that's pretty bad.
What he said.
I will not be linking it because I don't need to be sued, but if you DM me, I'll send it to you. What was I talking about? Oh, but Taylor, I think, including Travis, is, first of all, they met on the Eras Tour, right? Which is so cool.
Yeah, even if Andrea wants to take credit for having introed them, like, them meeting wouldn't have happened, at least in the current timeline, without the Eras Tour.
Well, the only reason Andrea was able to even do that is because he brought a friendship bracelet. He talked about it on his podcast.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Andrea wouldn't have known to look him up.
Sure.
Right? Like, she's not just looking up random football players. Like, who should my daughter
again,
date?
I don't think anybody would have put him in the top 10 most likely celebrities for Taylor to want to date, right?
No, no one would have said that. So, it's part of their love story, and so it's the end of that era. I also, like, they had so many moments on the tour together that seemed to propel the love story. Do you know what I mean? Or at least were key to their relationship. But then also, I think it's sort of this pushback on this idea that, like, women can have one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she had the most successful tour, broke all these records, whatever. It's a, like she said, it's a phenomenon.
Yeah, if anybody don't need no man, it's probably Taylor.
It's probably Taylor. But she was able to have the most successful time of her entire career. 2 albums came out. The Eras Tour was a global phenomenon. Not just successful, a phenomenon. And she met the love of her life. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think for anybody that, having a powerful, healthy relationship of any kind, romantic or otherwise, is an admirable thing and should be pursued. Like, that's a fairly universal human thing that
We need
good relationships
connections.
That's a good thing. Yeah. And so having her be able to accomplish that, like, I mean, I wouldn't have found it weird if she had put, I mean, I don't know what another example would be of like some maybe, and then Taylor made a new best friend. Like that could have been kind of like, I wouldn't have thought that was weird. Like, I don't know, like it would hit similarly.
I do think we saw a lot of her best friends, ironically, through the thing.
Actually, I think that's kind of what the entire series was basically about, was that how these people all became family.
How to showcase her new besties, you know, like her and Gracie being so close, which, we didn't talk about this, but Gracie being one, they had that like montage of all the babies, like not babies, but children and stuff that sing Taylor Swift.
Yeah. For like
on YouTube, like how many people cover Taylor Swift herself specifically, and one of them being Gracie Abrams.
Doing all too well.
And then she's like, fast forward, she's on stage with Taylor Swift. She's written a song with Taylor Swift. They're burning their houses down together. Like what?
Fire extinguisher in the kitchen.
What was happening there?
I don't remember what they were trying to do. If they were cooking something that caught on fire.
Yeah, all I know is suddenly it was like, we're gonna die, and like Taylor's trying to.
How do you use the fire extinguisher? It's one of those things we have in our houses, but nobody ever tells you how to use.
We actually don't have one in our house. But there's one in our hallway that we could break into. That whole break the glass thing, okay, I don't want to be this guy, but I've always wondered, like, how am I supposed to be fucking breaking the glass in an emergency?
You asked me to do it.
How would you be breaking the glass?
You use your elbow.
No way! You can't break glass with an elbow.
The glass that they put on those is kind of, it's designed to
break?
Yeah.
Okay, because I've definitely hit my head on glass before. It's not broken.
It's because your head's not hard enough, babe.
I don't know. It seems
is that a Nail or Downless thing?
Anyway, use my water bottle and just go swing. I mean, it is metal.
Your water bottle is essentially an appendage you have as well. So.
Yeah, so there you go. I just think it's so beautiful that she can have both, and they complemented each other so well and so healthily.
I do think that there is some like part of the brand story with Taylor's music is romantic relationships. It's not the only thing, but it's definitely a thing. And so I think that it is worth her celebrating because I think it's on message.
It's on message, and also I think I think Taylor tries to be very purposeful with like setting a good example as much as she can.
Yeah.
When we got a glimpse into her house a few episodes ago, I don't know if you noticed, but there's like a gay American flag.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah, she's always trying to like think how to like make a world where more people are safe, and like her responsibility to do that. And I really think she puts a lot of time into thinking how to do that in a way where she's not then gonna have little girls get stabbed again. Like that's a lot of pressure. But I think like it's also like a feminist stance to take.
Sure.
You can have both.
Yeah.
She's telling little girls and women across the world, you can have both. If your boyfriend can't handle you doing both, he might be a loser.
Yeah. No, and I think
certainly a lot of men are losers.
Yeah, and that's why it doesn't, like I saw people on Reddit saying like I know I should never get on Reddit, right? It's like after we finished watching Holiday Baking Championship, it's like nobody like that baker, like you stop. But the Reddit said something along the lines of that being included at the end felt like, and I got a rich husband too, which is like, no, I don't think it read like that at all.
Also, Travis is not rich enough to compared to her wealth for that to be irrelevant.
Of course,
anyway.
Travis is a tremendously successful, very wealthy individual with a great deal of money, but like, I don't think even a drop in the bucket compared to Taylor. And so while he is an incredibly, well accomplished man that would be brag worthy for anybody, that's not what it read like.
That's not what it read like at all. Like that's like such a stupid take. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
when people are so offended by it, it's kind of like, who hurt you, babe? Like that's like kind of sad.
It's interesting because like, he was mentioned, like he's part of the fabric of the story. He had like half an episode kind of about him, but then, and there were one-off comments about Travis Flowers or her calling Travis or something.
Or like the Chiefs jerseys out in the crowd.
But technically, proportionally, because that was kind of about the effects of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Proportionally, though, I would hit the screen time and like talk time given to Travis, I would imagine was less than 8%.
Probably about as much screen time as Taylor got during the Super Bowl.
LOL. No, that was way less. Hey, the men were so pressed. Oh my god.
Oh, that might be the funniest thing I've ever said.
When I watched the first Super Bowl that they were in, the one that they won, which by the way, how main character of the Swifties at our first Super Bowl we all tune into, we win.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Very fortuitous.
Obviously, it's because we were watching that they were
karma.
You know?
Good karma.
It's like, anyway, Back on track. Literally, I think, because I was watching for Travis, right? And but the fact that we're supporting Travis because he's with Taylor. But obviously, it's fun to see Taylor's reactions, but I think we saw her for like 3 seconds total or something insane. Do you know? Because it would be like one frame, one beat. And like they were showing Tom Cruise and whoever the fuck too. So I don't know. Do you not want them to show the audience at all? Like there's a lot of the game for a professional sport. There's a lot of the game where they're not gaming.
Yeah. No, I think that it's interesting. I read a statistic about like baseball games. I think it's, you know, if you're at a baseball game for 2 hours, it's like 9 minutes of it or something, or like technically game time. I don't know what it is for football. I know that the clock goes for 60 minutes across the quarters, but I don't know how many.
But somehow you're there 3 hours.
Well, yeah, so it's like there's lots of pausing, but I think even when the game clock is going, I don't know if that's still necessarily like you're watching the ball move down the field for 60 minutes.
It's not like always a play.
Yeah, and so...
Yeah, so they have to show other stuff, because what are you going to do? Like when they keep zooming in on the coaches, like spitting on the ground for some reason.
Angry people.
Although, can we talk about? Okay, so it was my first Super Bowl.
It's your first Super Bowl?
I think I'd watched them before, but I hadn't watched them.
Oh yeah,
do you know what I mean?
There's like, watching and then there's watching.
I'd been at Super Bowl parties, but I didn't watch it. Okay. So the Chiefs win, you're so happy, you're so elated, but then they like zoomed in on a bunch of the guys with the confettis coming down on them of the Chiefs colors, the guys from the other team, and I was like...
Who were they playing in that game? Who was it?
Wasn't it his brother's team? Wasn't it the Eagles?
It might have been the Eagles. I don't remember, so sorry, Internet.
I feel like Jason was playing, so it would have been the Eagles. Although apparently, okay...
Wait, is Jason still...
No, but he was that game. That was his last game.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
What a significant game.
Yeah. Because apparently one of Taylor Swift's first questions to Travis is, what's it like to face off against your brother?
Sure.
And he was like, well
they don't technically...
It's like offense versus defense. You know what's funny? We were watching the podcast where Taylor herself was saying that. I had, at this point, watched a few football games, and I was like, I didn't realize that.
Wait, what is Jason's position? What does he
I
play?
don't fucking know.
But is he on defense or is he on offense?
He is the opposite of Travis. I still don't know what Travis is.
Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we'll keep going.
He's a tight end.
Yeah. Travis catches the ball. He's on offense.
Okay, so then his brother's defense.
Well, then they would be on the field at the same time. So I think that they might both... Is Jason an offensive lineman? That might be what it is.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll look it up.
Yeah, all I knew is it was funny because Taylor was like, I'm such an idiot. I didn't know this. And I was like, I didn't know that either. Like, I was like, I've watched a few games now and this is news to me. I didn't realize they weren't on the field at the same time. And now apparently I can't even explain it well enough for you to understand what I'm talking about. So,
well, to be fair, I don't know anything about football either. I'm excited to watch the Super Bowl for this season because it'll refresh me a little
Bad
bit
Bunny.
Again. Yeah, and for Bad Bunny.
You didn't watch the year Rihanna was singing.
I watched Rihanna.
Did you?
Yeah.
Live?
Yeah.
I feel like I texted you and was like, did you watch it? And you were like, no.
Well, I mean, I maybe didn't watch it as close as... I mean, if I watched about as close as you watched the game. But I remember Rihanna. I remember Kendrick. Oh, and then we fell in love with Kendrick for like months after that.
We went so hard.
Suddenly, like, these, like, my top 5 listen tracks were like...
He smirked, and I was like, I love this bitch.
No,
I was
Kendrick,
like, I would ride for you.
An icon.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and what's funny is I knew nothing about the beef before that. Like, I'm like Googling, trying to understand what's going on.
Are we going to watch that, the Puff Daddy special on...
I'm pretty sure it's not Puff Daddy.
What do you mean?
Is it Puff Daddy or P. Diddy?
It's the same person.
Oh my god. Are you serious? I didn't know that.
It's kind of a lame, like, shorthand name because it's the same number of syllables.
I thought you were just saying a totally different thing.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty fucking sure that it's the same person.
One of us is making a very embarrassing mistake. I would not be surprised if it's me, though. You said that, and I was like, well, now I'll have to just... Anyway. This is why I'm a Swiftie, not a whatever. I only like to talk about stuff I know really, really, really well.
One discography. We've got it memorized, even though I don't know how many songs are in it.
I'm working on Beyonce, too.
Ooh, Beyonce's a good one.
Okay, y'all, did you know? I just found this out. So we just finished the Eras Tour, Eras Docuseries. You know, it's kind of sad in some ways. You know, it's over, whatever.
One solitary tear.
And then I see someone on TikTok in a comment section. Like, not even, like, the TikTok, okay? Someone in a comment section is like, well, you could watch the 1989 tour on YouTube. And I was like, what?
And this was given, I mean, what, 11:30 at night?
Yeah.
Like, we are in bed.
So I'm pulling up YouTube on the big screen, and I was like, which, by the way, I had the realization that sometimes people watch us on YouTube on their big screen, and I almost had a heart attack.
Sorry. Please don't do that.
Yeah, I was like, that's horrifying. Like, I don't want to be that big.
I didn't do my makeup, yeah.
Little screens, good. Big screens freaked me out.
Yeah.
I saw it on it was on your YouTube watch history, and I was like,
Ah!
Anyway, back on track.
That's like bigger than we are in person.
So I looked it up, depending on the TV. I looked it up on YouTube, and literally, it's like a because I was expecting
it's like 2.5 hours long.
I was expecting a grainy like iPhone camera or something. No, it's like a produced, 2.5 hour long her tour from 1989.
Yeah, she's like doing interviews. It's like talking about different guest stars that were in different songs. Yeah,
I've only watched like 10 minutes because Brian was like, "You're getting a little too hyper."
No, we
it's
have
really
to
late at night.
Be very careful. We can't let Rachel have sugar before bed. She can't have Taylor Swift before bed because she gets hyper.
I did wake up. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't think I slept for like 3 hours after that.
To be fair, you're probably going to go watch that once we finish recording this podcast, aren't you?
I totally am. Anyway, I'll link it below. So if you also didn't know that, you might be judging me. Apparently, also there's a Loverfest concert because obviously the Lover tour got canceled because of COVID-19. But she had done like a something. It was called Loverfest. So I haven't watched it yet. But that is also linked below.
Apparently on YouTube. And then wasn't there one more? Was it Debut? Or no, Fearless?
It was Fearless. Which
Fearless
I don't
maybe has a tour that's recorded.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's what the comment said. I did not fact check it.
That's taking it back a ways.
It's taking it back a long ways. Yeah. She's just a baby. Just a little bit I watched in 1989, I was like, wow, she's a different woman.
I don't know if I recognized her, to tell you the truth.
I'm so glad she's healthy now.
Yeah.
Like that she eats food. And she talks about that in Miss Americana, right? She's like, I realized I didn't have to be that exhausted after a show. And it just breaks your heart. Like she couldn't have done without food. Like people forget, like food, the calories represents units of energy.
It's like putting gas in your car. Yeah.
Like you have to do that. Like you cannot be on empty. Yeah. And I just, I'm so glad that she's like healthy now.
She seems so happy and
Now take a rest next time you have a cold.
That's hopefully. My only criticism.
Yeah. Like Taylor. Please take, like, I really do hope she takes this time not on the Eras tour. It's hard, and as sad as it is to be over, she's going to have other cool things. I can't picture what it'd be like. How's she going to do another tour that would top this?
Yeah, I don't
think her personality let her, like,
I hope that she lets herself come up with a way to do some touring and some live stuff that wouldn't be trying to one-up the Eras tour.
Yeah. It has to be almost like a whole different format. But she said in Miss Americana, she was like, this is the last time anyone will even deal with me or put up with me as a pop star. Like, I'm aging out of this, whatever. But she hadn't even hit her biggest milestones yet.
Yeah.
How exciting is that?
So in those
there's still stuff to come.
Those last words that go across the screen talks about Life of a Showgirl.
Yeah.
And it says it was her biggest album ever to date. And that felt like a bit of a hint to me. I mean,
well, of course she's going to keep writing music. She was in an interview and someone asked her that. They were like, now that you're engaged, is this your last album? And she was like, that's a really fucking offensive question.
What is that? What does that have to do with anything?
Like, why would you even ask me that? Like, yeah, of course there's going to be more to come. And
if she could write 2 albums while on the biggest tour of all time, like, you'd think that she could handle writing while being married to somebody like Travis.
She's going to probably be a menace. Like, not on a tour. I can't imagine how much music she's
and especially if she's feeling happy and inspired, and those are emotions that maybe haven't been quite as thoroughly flushed out in her discography.
We're going to have to, like, not get married until her Love album comes out.
We need the happy version of Tortured Poets. That's what we need.
Yes.
Happy Poets.
To be fair, I love Tortured Poets though. Like, that might be my favorite album. I don't know though. They're all my favorite.
You're my favorite.
Been listening to Rep a lot lately. Anyway.
I know you were in trouble when you walked in. Wait, that's not on Rep.
You're just throwing out.
Well, we watched it on the concert last night.
Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been really fun to have the Swifties up in the comment sections. We will produce more Swiftie content in the future. So like, subscribe, do all the things. Tell us we're idiots. Tell us you love us. Whatever it is that floats your boat, all of it is engagement. So it's
we
fine.
Love it. Yeah, even if it's a little hateful. And if you want us to do any Warhammer 40,000 content, let us know. That would make me very happy because I don't think Rachel would ever let me cover that. But if enough people comment it, then
if you have any content suggestions that are girly pop, feel free to put them in the chat below. If I got a Warhammer person, I'd be like, you sent a bot. I would not even believe it.
If I was going to say Warhammer can be girly pop, but no, it can't.
No,
That's
it really
can't. Girly pop fandom out there, so sorry about that.
Anyway, have a very Swiftie day.